Hello everyone, welcome to Quant Masters. I'm Harshita Alveli. Today we have Tanishq with us, who is from Hyderabad and he got placed in Infosys recently. So he's here to share his experience with us. Let's talk to him and get to know about the entire interview process in detail. Hi Tanishq,
Hello, ma'am.
how are you?
I'm good, ma'am. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good too, Tanishq. Firstly, I would like to congratulate you for getting placed in Infosys, Tanishq. I'm very happy for you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. The actual credit goes to you and Quant Masters, the team of Quant Masters.
Thank you so much, Tanishq. We are really happy that we could help you.
Sure, ma'am. A lot of help.
Okay, so let's talk about the interview experience. But before that, could you tell more about yourself, Tanishq?
Yeah. So, ma'am, this is Tanishq and I'm a resident of Hyderabad. I have recently completed my Bachelor of Engineering from Matrush Engineering College and I'm from Mechanical Department. And I recently got placed at Infosys for the role of Systems Engineer and with a package of 3.6 LPA.
Oh, that's really nice, Tanishq. Such an amazing job role and package. Very big company. Must be very happy about it, right?
Yes, ma'am. I'm really very happy.
Okay, so let's talk about the interview experience. So was this an on-campus or an off-campus interview, Tanishq?
No, this was an off-campus interview, ma'am.
Okay, when did you apply for Infosys?
I applied on 1st March, ma'am, and on 5th March, I got a mail stating that your online assessment is scheduled tomorrow, that is on 6th March, and the time window was given as 3 to 3:30 p.m. with 100 minutes of duration. So
Okay.
you could join anywhere between 3 to 3:30, and the test would go on for 100 minutes.
100 minutes.
Yes,
Okay, fine. So this happened on 6th March, right? 6th March
yeah,
2021.
6th March. Yeah, 6th
Okay.
March.
So tell us about the online assessment in detail, Tanishq.
Yeah, so in the online assessment, you have 5 sections, ma'am. The first one is logical ability. For that, you'll have 15 questions for 25 minutes. The second is technical ability. They call it technical ability, but it's actually quantitative aptitude. So for that, you have 10 questions and 35 minutes. And
10
the third
questions and 35 minutes.
Yes, ma'am. 10 questions, 35 minutes.
Okay.
And after that, you'll have the verbal section, that is 20 questions, 20 minutes, followed by pseudocode, that is 5 questions, 10 minutes. And the last section is puzzle, that is 4 questions and 10 minutes.
Okay, so let's talk about every section in detail. Tell us about the first section, Tanishq.
So the first section, ma'am, in reasoning ability, most of the questions I got from data sufficiency. I almost got 3 to 4 questions from data sufficiency itself.
Okay.
And these questions were quite tricky. It was like I changed my answer at the last minute. So you have to be really careful with these. And 1 or 2 questions were from coding decoding, 2 were from syllogisms, and 1 was from non-verbal reasoning, and 1 was from clocks.
Okay, so what was the level of difficulty, Tanishq, these questions?
If you the data sufficiency questions were quite tricky, ma'am. They were not like lengthy, but they were a bit tricky. So I think you could have it took me a bit of time to complete data sufficiency, but other than that, the section was easy.
Okay, so you had like more than a minute, almost 2 minutes for every question, no?
Yes, ma'am.
So
almost
that was quite helpful for you.
Yes, that was helpful, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. Then the next one, the quant part.
The next one for technical ability, the major weightage was given to data interpretations, ma'am. Okay. They would be giving you questions of like factories, and they will ask you what's the average percentage comparatively that is more when compared to one specific year. So these questions were quite lengthy. In this section, the questions were quite lengthy, and majorly
calculation was involved.
Yes, ma'am. Too much of calculation, and the major percentage weightage was given to data interpretation and percentages.
Okay.
And then I had problems from time, speed, distance. They were, I think, 2 problems. That is from both. Okay. That is upstream, downstream. Those kind of questions. 2 questions from there. 1 or 2 questions was from profit and loss, and a few questions from allegations and mixtures.
Okay, just so there were just 10 questions, but you were given 35 minutes of time. That means we can understand the level of difficulty over there. The questions are quite difficult. You could answer all of them? How many
I could
questions?
answer all of them, ma'am.
You could answer all the 10 questions. That's
I
amazing.
could answer all of them, ma'am, because Himanshu sir gives a lot of weightage to percentages. And just call this by luck that the data interpretation questions, the major,
Also something
most of
based
them
on.
were related to percentages.
Okay, that
So
helped
because
you.
of that, that helped me to complete it very fast.
Super,
So,
super. Fine, fine. So they are. Tell us about the third section, Tanishq.
so the third section is verbal ability, ma'am. And here I got sentence correction, that is 2 to 3 questions, around 2 to 3. And there was one reading comprehension. And no one has mentioned this, but I have got some questions that is situational questions.
Okay.
That is kind of, I'll tell you an example. One question was like, suppose you have got many reports against an officer for taking bribes. So
Okay.
there are 2 options for that question. One was, would you catch him red-handed and you take the necessary action right now? Or will you wait for further reports, if you will wait for a little bit longer and see if you get more reports? So I got around 3 to 4 questions, which were like this situational type,
Okay,
which I
so
guess
these were
I
under
don't
the
know.
verbal part.
Yeah, I got this under the verbal part itself
Okay, okay. This is something
because no
students
one has
have to
mentioned
know.
it, but I got them.
Okay, so you answered them.
Yeah, I answered them, but I was really surprised when I was answering them because I didn't expect that they'll ask it in aptitude itself. I
Okay,
have
that's a
heard that.
valuable piece of information. Students who are watching this will be prepared for this from now on.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine, fine. So this was the verbal part.
Yes, ma'am. Verbal
Then the
part.
next section was pseudocode, right?
Yes, ma'am. Next section was pseudocode. Pseudocode was relatively easy. Increment, decrement, anyone can do it. I guess if you
Okay.
are good at basics, you can easily go complete the pseudocode.
Okay, so the last one was problem solving, puzzles, right?
Yeah, last one was puzzles, ma'am. So for puzzles, 4 questions were there. 2 were very, very easy. Not very, very easy. It was like easy.
Okay.
I'm telling very easy because I was already in practice with Quant Masters for the previous 1.5 months. So I found it relatively easy. One was like a medium, touching medium level question, and one was hard.
Okay.
So the
So
last
do
one
you
I don't.
remember anyone among them? Like how were the questions basically?
Uh, they were in the form of 3 by 3 table, ma'am.
Okay.
And in that 3 by 3 table, they'll give you the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
All the numbers, one number among that table is missing. So you have to find out that number.
Okay, so there will be a pattern followed by those numbers in the
Yeah,
grids.
pattern followed by, it will be either left to right or top to bottom.
Okay, okay. So nice, nice. So that you had similar questions in the puzzle part.
Yes, ma'am. Similar questions in the puzzle part. All the 4 were similar questions, but one was double subtraction, one was squares, one of them was
Oh,
cubes, like that.
fine, fine. So this was about the first round.
Yes, ma'am. This was about the first round.
And when did you get to know the results of this round?
I got the result on 10th March, ma'am.
10th March. You got to know that you are shortlisted for the next round.
Yeah, they only gave it as you are shortlisted for the interview. Congrats, you have cleared the online assessment. And your interview, whenever it is scheduled, you'll be notified 48 hours prior to your interview.
Okay, so when did you get that mail informing
I
you?
got the interview mail on 16th March, ma'am.
Okay, and when was the interview conducted?
The interview was on 18th March, ma'am. Holy.
Okay, so that was a technical interview?
Yeah, they mentioned it as technical and behavioral interview.
Okay, fine, fine. Yeah, tell us about that interview, Tanishq.
I exactly, the time window was given as 10 a.m. ma'am, and the time duration also they had given it as 19 minutes.
19 minutes.
Yeah, 19 minutes.
Okay.
So they had mentioned this in the mail itself, and 9:55 a.m. itself I joined, and a few minutes later the interviewer joined.
Okay.
And mine was more of kind of pressure interview because there was time constraints for the interviewers. I think since it was Holi, so he was in a hurry. So he joined first up and he asked me to show my ID proof. And that was in a very stern voice.
Okay.
So I just got a little bit surprised and I showed him the ID proof. So then the next question he asked is, tell me about yourself. So I didn't go to the historical background and all. Whatever was there in the resume, I mostly skipped it. I focused on my project works and my strengths.
Okay.
So the next question he asked was, okay, fine. So tell me about your project. That is your final year project. So I was prepared for this one because this is something that we had done in the lockdown, and it took us quite a bit of time. So I was well prepared for the project, and I told him everything about the project. So then he suddenly shifted to the technical part.
Okay.
So he asked me, what programming languages do you know? So I said, sir, I know C and C++. I'm good at C and C++. So then he asked a few questions on that itself. One was like, he started with, what's the difference between C and C++?
Okay.
So I told him 4 to 5 lines, and then again there was a pause. So because I thought he was in a hurry, so I didn't tell anything. I just patiently waited for the interviewer. So after a few after a few minutes, he spoke. And again, he asked, okay, fine. Then he shifted to OOPS concept. What do you know about OOPS concept? So I was telling him about the OOPS concept, and then he asked to explain abstraction, polymorphism, all those pillars. So I was explaining him the pillars, and suddenly in the midst itself, he said, okay, fine, I'm done with your interview.
Okay, so he didn't even listen to the complete explanation of yours.
No, he heard half of it, ma'am. I guess half of it he heard it, and he said, okay, fine, because I was going on telling because I had prepared it well. So he said, okay, fine, I'm done with your interview. And
so you must
I was again
really worried about it till you got the results, no?
Yes, ma'am. Because I had answered questions well, but I was doubting whether that pauses also will have some effect or not.
Okay. So, but when did you get to know the results? So, was this the final round, Tanishq, or one more interview was there?
No, ma'am. This was the final round. I was actually expecting him to ask me some programs. So for that, Shashank sir had suggested this site called Online GDB. So I was practicing a lot of programs, and I was again surprised that there is no programming
Nothing
question.
was asked. You were well prepared, but nothing was asked.
Nothing was asked related to programs. So again, I was surprised there. So the complete thing was surprising for me.
Okay. So when did you get to know the results of the final results actually? When did you?
Yes, ma'am. So the final results will be declared on 28th March, ma'am.
So you had to wait for like a week, around a week.
Yes, ma'am. Around a week.
Okay.
It's almost 10 days, ma'am. 10 to 11 days.
10 days. Okay, super. So did you get the offer letter, Tanishq?
Yes, ma'am. I got the offer letter on 28th March itself. They had the mail and they had offer letter attached to it.
Super. That's really nice to know. And would you like to give any tips or suggestions to your friends and juniors that might help them also get placed in Infosys, Tanishq?
So suggestion, ma'am, I would like to say that the quant part, that is the aptitude part, the online assessment is the most important. So once you clear it, more than half of your job is done. But the thing is, they need to practice it. It's not like you can get it by luck, because most probably you won't get it by luck. And I had also heard that there were crypt arithmetic questions that were asked in the previous Infosys, but I never got even one question from that topic. So my suggestion is you have to practice really hard for the aptitude round. And once you have done the aptitude round, then you can, breathe a bit, because the next 2 rounds will be relatively easier. If you are good at even the basics, you can easily clear it. And one more thing I forgot to mention, ma'am, interviewer after the ending, he asked me whether I had some questions for him.
Okay.
So I think this might also help everyone who is watching. So I asked him, so what are your expectations from a fresher?
Okay.
So he said that coming to my expectation from a fresher, if at all he's from IT background, I expect him to have in-depth knowledge of all the programming languages. At least 2 or 3 programming languages, he has to have in-depth knowledge. And coming to non-IT background students, I expect them to at least have the basics of programming languages. And the main thing is that they should be able to communicate well about their project. So when he said this, I was a bit relieved that I had done something well, so I can relax a bit. But this is basically what he said. And I asked him, what's the training period usually? Because I had heard that Infosys has world-class training. So I asked him about the training period. So he said that, the training, it's not specific. It depends on various parameters. So first of all, if it's remote or if it's in campus, then they both are relatively different. But usually for IT background students, it's of 1 month. And for non-IT background students, it's of 3 months. But I'm not sure about it. It has various criteria and all. So I'm not sure, but I'm just telling you a rough figure.
Okay, so that was his answer.
Yes, ma'am. That was his answer. And this was in a much better tone because the interview, what he took, it was in a very stern way. Because I know there are some interviewers who are very lenient, friendly, but mine was in a stern way. But this answer was really, really towards the, friendly way. So.
Okay, so yeah, since you are a student of Quant Masters, would you like to tell how was your journey with Quant Masters, Tanishq?
Yes, ma'am, definitely. So the journey was really incredible right from the start. The thing is, I joined Quant Masters watching the YouTube video. I wasn't recommended by anyone. So I myself, I watched some YouTube videos and I thought that this was something worth it. So I joined Quant Masters, and right from day one, I had my expectations very, very high. And when Himanshu sir started teaching, they exceeded my expectations again. So the journey was really incredible. And coming to the aptitude part, because the Quant Masters, this training helped me a lot in aptitude part. So the ways which Himanshu sir has taught, and all the, the team of Quant Masters, because technical also, Shashank sir has taught a lot. And a special mention to Dinesh sir, because I had a similar stern interview from him also, HR interview, which was also, very much useful for me in this regard. And thanks to you also, ma'am, for the logical reasoning sessions, because syllogisms, I wasn't good at syllogisms also, but I got some questions from that also, and I was able to clear it very, very easily. So I would highly recommend Quant Masters because it is easier to tell that if you practice, you can do it well. But there are certain things that, you need some professionals to guide you through the ways. For example, time management is very, very important in aptitude. So for managing the time, it's almost just a difference of 5 to 10 seconds. But when you practically do it, it is like it comes down to 4 or 5 questions at the end. So within specified time, you can do 4 to 5 questions more. So I would highly recommend Quant Masters. And I have also attended several training programs, even from my campus recruitment, that is from my drive also. And others also, I have watched quite a bit of videos, but none of them even comes close to Quant Masters. So it's an incredible experience. And even for the interviews, the mock interviews are really, really great. And added to that, Himanshu sir's stories of the day are really, really inspiring. So at the end, you feel very, very light after the sessions. And you don't feel like it was a long session, 3 to 4 hour session. You just get a feeling that it has completed so early. That's what I was quoting Himanshu sir. So I would highly recommend.
Thank you so much, Tanishq. Thanks for all the kind words. We are really happy that we could help you, and you're also successfully placed. That's an amazing thing. We are really happy about it.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Thanks to you, and thanks to the entire team of Quant Masters.
And also thanks for being here, sharing all the information with us, Tanishq. You know, right, how many students out there are trying so hard to get placed in Infosys. Your experience will definitely help them.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Congratulations once again, and all the very best for your future.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Really grateful to Quant Masters for guiding me, ma'am. Thank you so much.